James, give us a little bit of background on yourself for those that may not know James Olmos.
Yeah. Gosh, I started playing music back in high school, or even just before high school. So that's about 35 years ago or so, a long time ago. And it was through a friend of mine, a good friend, and we're still best friends to this day. Um, and I used to write a bunch of poetry, as much as a young lad can write back in those days, to get out his frustrations and understand himself more. And I hung out with my buddy Rob, and he played guitar, and I just remember strumming his Yamaha 12 string and hearing how beautiful it sounded. And he's like, "Hey, I can teach you how to play." And he probably taught me, two or three chords, pick it up sitting on the side of his bed and did that. But then he did something wonderful. He just showed me how to learn how to play guitar. So, how to look at tabs. And from there on, I just taught myself how to play guitar. And that's it. That's the training that I had, just teaching myself how to do that. And songwriting transitioned very smoothly because I was already writing poetry, so that turned into lyrics quite well. Um, and yeah, so it was always an expression. It was always just an expression. It was always, something's inside me, and I want to express it artistically. And that's what it was. Music or writing music for me has never been performance based, where I need to share this with the world and get out in front of people and hear applause. And it's never been about that for me. It's only really in the past, I'm going to say, 5 to 8 years that I shared any music, and I have thousands of songs and melodies and what have you. But and still to this day, it's never, I don't perform live. Um, I've only performed live, a few times in my life. But I mean, when I say live, I mean, out in public, going somewhere at an open mic or something, or um, so it's all, the sharing of my music has all been through Second Life. So that's kind of the story from poetry, learning guitar, transitioning to music, and Second Life.
James, you've taken a non-traditional route performing mostly online as opposed to what most musicians do with live shows. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's been an awesome experience. So anyone who doesn't know what Second Life is, it's a virtual 3D world, and it's really unexplainable. You just have to experience Second Life. So go to secondlife.com and try and figure it out. You're either going to love it or you're going to brutally hate it. Um, I didn't like it at all the first time I went in there, and until I found out that I could play music, perform music. So basically, what you're doing is, just to break it down, you're just streaming online. You buy some bandwidth and uh, this little station, and you just stream live to your computer, just like you would do on something like this or Google Plus or anywhere. Um, but you're streaming in CD quality, and so this virtual world, they can tie into that stream, and anyone in this world, which is really just an online community, can listen. And so you can have anywhere from one listener to 100 listeners, depending how big your bandwidth is. And these listeners have the ability to tip you, and these tips are in Linden dollars. It's a currency that is traded on the U.S. stock exchange. You can take that from the game, from Second Life, and put that into your bank account or to PayPal. So I've been doing that for, 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know how long. I lose track of that. And it's been great. Everything that you see behind me has, you know, Second Life has helped support, building my little studio and my mixer. And I mean, you're not making like massive amounts of money or anything, but it's good. What do they call it? A passive income, you know? Um, yeah, it feeds my hobby of songwriting and making music and stuff, and yeah, photography. So
Can you tell us about some of your other passions?
yeah, yeah, I'm so OCD, ADD. I'm like all over the place. I can't just do one thing at a time. So obviously I have the whole music thing that I enjoy, and then I do acrylic painting, and I love photography. That's just my new passion right now. I've always had a camera and photographed, even as a child growing up. My parents' home, obviously film, and I took a couple of classes in a junior college right out of high school. Um, Again, all with film. I remember going into the darkroom and learning how to get the canister and all the great smells that come in with developing film and stuff. But and then now I'm doing that a lot now. I'm even doing portraits for people, or I have the opportunities to travel a lot, so I take my camera with me, and when I got some downtime, I'm taking pictures of beautiful landscapes, or street photography, or whatever it is. I haven't really found a niche yet of what I really like. I love taking pictures of people. I love taking pictures of portraits, but my travels have been able to lend me the ability to take landscape photography, and that's fine. I love getting out there and hiking and all that kind of stuff, and taking a shot. It's just, you take a shot of a landscape and a tree and waterfalls, and it's just kind of there, and you take a picture of it. Where people are, to me, are a little bit more unique, and they have personality, and I can identify with them and all that good stuff. But I'm still trying to find my voice in photography, I think. Um, but yeah, you can go to my photography page, or either my jamesolmos.com for music, or James Olmos Photography, or you can go to theindieartist.com, and that's my blog. And on my blog, I incorporate all of what I do. So yeah, you'll see everything, from songs to my workouts and routines. I do all these Spartan races and get all aggro and jump over 10-foot walls and climb 20-foot ropes and carry 50-pound boulders, 100 yards. And I photograph all this stuff and film it and put it on my blog, and I talk about it in addition to my music and poetry and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's theindieartist.com if you just want the full James Olmos experience.
It seems your sons have started to follow in your footsteps. That's got to make you proud.
Yeah, it's awesome. Actually, all three of them are, some way integrated in the music. My oldest son, Evan, he doesn't write any original music, but he's got a great voice, and he plays guitar and does, massive amounts of cover songs. And he's always the one that's trying out for the American Idols and X Factor and that song, whatever, where they spin around in the chairs and whatever that one is. We want you. I don't watch a lot of TV or stay up to date with any of that kind of stuff, but yeah, he's very passionate about music. And then my middle son is graduating this month with what month are we in? No, next month, I guess, with an art management degree, and he wants to manage bands and things like that, things that lend itself to an art management degree. And then my youngest son is very passionate about photography and music and kind of the same things that I am. So and he's just getting his feet wet into college right now. So I got one out of college, one graduating in a month, and then one just stepping into it. And yeah, so he's still trying to get his head around his degree and what he wants to do, but I think he'll find it quick enough. So yeah, family based. Mm.
If you enjoyed the interview, please subscribe on YouTube and Vitascape. Enjoy all the benefits listed on the screen and help us spread the music of indie musicians by joining our patron fan club. For more details, just click above the arrow. And don't forget to follow us on all your favorite social media sites.